Hi everyone, for our 6th grade Elevate group, today we are continuing work on the coordinate plane, specifically focused on word problems. So yesterday we learned about the X and Y coordinate, we learned how to plot points in the first quadrant, we also learned how to identify the ordered pair for a point that has already been plotted. Today we are focused on some following of instructions, as well as finding the distance between 2 points, particularly when we have been given a word problem. So you are going to take 4 minutes to model letter A. It says the coordinate plane shows the location of pictures hanging on Kara's wall. Find the distance between pictures A and B and between C and D. So when it comes to word problems, we want to make sure that student comprehension is top tier. This question asks us to find the distance between pictures A and B. That is one task. And then the second task is to find the distance between pictures C and D. But before we even jump into finding distance, we want to pull on student understanding from yesterday, right? Yesterday, we know that students were able to identify the ordered pairs when given a point that has been plotted. Let's see if they remember that. So what I want you to do is to call on 4 different students to name the coordinates that we have been given on this coordinate grid. Once they do that, then you can jump into the new learning. So from A and B, we want to figure out the distance. So we want to be able to figure out how many jumps it takes us to get from, or how many units it takes to get from A to B. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. From A to B, you have to move 6 units to the right. So that means the distance from A to B is 6 units. They are 6 units apart. Now, calculating C and D, we're not moving from the right to the left. We're moving up and down because I see that there is a vertical alignment between C and D. So from C to D, 1, 2, 3, we have 3 units, meaning that C and D are 3 units apart. From there, you are going to jump into another teacher model, another word problem. It tells us Vinay plotted 3 points for the corners of a rectangle. Okay. Where should he plot a point from the 4th corner? Now, what I would love to ask is for you to launch students into a turn and talk. And I want you to ask them to go ahead and attempt to draw the rectangle without having to know where exactly the point lies, right? So in having 3 points, students should be able to say, okay, well, I'm connecting these points. If I were to close my shape, my rectangle would look like this. Then the second question would be, based on your rectangle, how would we know where point W should go? What point would that be? Now, kids should be sparring. Most kids should be able to say 0,5. Your kids who struggled yesterday might say 5,0. It is important that you correct them in, okay, well, how do we get to that specific point? Are we moving to the right at all? Are we moving up and down at all? What's going on? So students should be able to identify 0,5, sorry. Then you will launch them into partner practice for about 5 minutes to work on questions 2. And they're going to work on question 5, okay? I left question 3 and 4 for an exit ticket because I want to see how well they understand identifying distance in question 4. and whether they're able to plot points given a set of instructions for question 3.